Hey everyone, Mr. Lenz here, and I just wanted to touch base with you about practicing versus playing. We've been talking about this a little bit in band and in lessons, and I just want to follow up with a video here, and you'll have a short survey that you'll fill out about some of the things I'm talking about in the video. So maybe take note of some of the differences that you hear me talk about between playing and practicing. They might come in handy for that survey. So first of all, every one of you received one of these student practice methods checklists. Sheets for your binder. So this is a good resource for during your lesson or when you're practicing at home. Just making sure that you know what the difference is between practicing and playing. The number one thing that you need to remember is what makes it practice is that you set a goal in mind for when you sit down and play. So say you have 20 minutes to practice, then you would sit down before you practice and say, okay, I want to get these three numbers down in my lesson book. I need to fix this spot in my concert band music and this other spot in my concert band music. That would be a good goal to have, when you sit down to practice. Playing would just be getting your music out, playing through all the numbers. All right, sounds good. Not really getting any better at anything. Maybe skipping over the hard ones and you're just going to the easy ones. When you practice, you intentionally go to the hard spots or the spots that you don't know as well so that you can get better at them. And you don't stop until you become an expert at it. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about your practice time at home. The goal is that we can make better use of your time that you're spending so that you can get more done in less time. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So as you're looking at this sheet on your in your binder, this is just a reminder. You don't have to fill this in, but you're just talking about your goals for practice. So the first thing you should think about, what's my goal today when I sit down and practice? And then this is kind of just a general outline of if you're not really sure what to practice, you start with a warm-up, go to your method book assignment, and then an etude or solo if you're working on one of those, and then your band music, and then free play, which is anything that you want to do. A couple questions to ask yourself. First of all, like before or during and after your practice session, you can think, number one, did I accomplish something? And number two, did I practice with a metronome? Okay, those are two important questions to ask. Those are things that are show whether you practiced or whether you just played through all your music. So if you accomplish something, that's a good sign that you were practicing. Also, did you use a metronome? A lot of times I hear people practicing things way faster than they go in band, or way slower, or whatever it is, somewhere in between. Make sure you're practicing things at the tempo we play them, because it does make a difference. And get your metronome markings right at the top of each page. And for your songs in the lesson book, just make sure that you're recording a practice finding a metronome marking for each one that's a comfortable pace. Now down at the bottom, here are some tips on what to do if you get stuck on something. So what you might do if you find the one measure or four measures that you have a hard time with, chunk it up into small bite-sized pieces. Take it slower and then gradually speed it up. Make sure that you do it slow enough so you can practice it correctly rather than incorrectly. The goal is to practice it correctly 10 times, slowing it down and gradually speeding it up, rather than practicing it incorrectly 10 times, correctly once, because then the incorrect times are the ones that stick. Okay? The goal here with this sheet and with talking about practicing is to make your time more efficient in practice. So make sure to set a goal, practice with a metronome, and don't stop until you've accomplished something. And think about when you're sitting down, are you just playing through your music, or are you practicing? And don't shy away from those hard things now that you have the tools to overcome those and to accomplish those difficult passages in your band music or in your lesson books. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck. And don't forget to fill out the survey after this video about the differences between playing and practicing. Hopefully your practicing now looks a lot different than it did at the beginning of the year with these tools in mind. Thanks.